Guys, I have incredible news for you today, and this might be the most exciting thing that I've learned this entire year. Maybe this entire 2 years. My name is Kev. Oh, first thing, you don't have to worry about AI music. That's what we'll be talking about today. Artificial intelligence music, AI. You don't have to worry about it as a musician. In this video, we're going to be covering all the reasons for why, and they're super exciting. My name is Kev Rowe. I'm a lifelong musician for 25 years now. I've done well over 2,000 gigs all over the United States. I've got over 6 million streams on all the DSPs. I've got a playlist network with 20,000 followers on it on Spotify. And I'm also a playlist curator on Submit Hub, where I've now listened to over 12,000 songs, I think. Anyway, let's get straight to it. You want to know what's up with the AI music. Well, let me first tell you about my life here on Submit Hub. Every day I go into my Submit Hub account and I listen to a lot of music, between 50 and 100 songs. And it's in a wide variety of genres. So right now I think all of my playlists are on 50 genres of music. Yes, 50. And I mean, that's just a tip of the iceberg for how many genres there actually are on Spotify these days. There's got to be thousands. But mine are mostly in the pop, Americana, singer songwriter, acoustic, folk, country, those genres. I do some rock and roll, some indie pop, some indie rock. Anyway, I listen to a lot of music all day long, basically. When I'm done with Submit Hub, I go over to Playlist Push. I'm a playlist curator over there too. When I'm done with Playlist Push, I go over to Sound Campaign. I'm a curator there. Then I go over to Groover and I listen to a whole bunch more music. So all day long I'm listening to music, right? Music that's handmade by you, the independent musicians of the world, submitting to me through these platforms. So I've listened to a lot of music at this point. Now I want to switch gears. Let's change gears and go over to Facebook, Instagram, and talk about advertising. You're like, how does this relate to AI music? Hang with me. We're getting there. So, as a working musician, I also have had a client service business for the last 9 years, doing Facebook ads for my friends in the music business. Everything from local music venues to bands all over the country to, for a while, I was helping social media influencers to coaches to. So my advertising client service business blew up pretty big about 5 years ago. Since then, I've been scaling it down to like maybe 10 clients who I help now. But I'm really good at Facebook ads. So I've been doing it a long time, since 2011, when I first started marketing my own music as a singer-songwriter on Facebook. So I have seen a lot of advertising campaigns and built a lot of ads. We're talking thousands at this point. So let's talk about ChatGPT and artificial intelligence and Facebook advertising. Remember when ChatGPT first came out? And we were all like, wow, this is amazing. It will write our stuff for us. Artificial intelligence, this is great. So, like all the other advertisers, I went over to ChatGPT and I started building some ads based on artificial intelligence and testing them to audiences on Facebook, not just nationally but globally, and seeing how they and locally, and seeing how they would perform, and they performed pretty great. I was like, wow. So what we're talking about is the text in the ad itself and what is traditionally called copyright in terms of selling a product or telling a story or a way to convince people to do something, right? So that's called copyright. And ChatGPT was very useful for this because you could go into ChatGPT and say, write me a Facebook ad sending a person over to Spotify to listen to my calming acoustic playlist. That's just one example. Or you could say, write a Facebook ad to a music lover in the state of California who would be interested in maybe purchasing my 3 CD box set for $20. Or, or you could go into ChatGPT and say, write a Facebook ad for someone who lives in a 100-mile radius of Chicago and wants to attend a EDM concert. Anything you can imagine. That's just in music. So, this is the world of advertising. McDonald's was using it, Walmart, all these e-commerce. It was huge in e-commerce. Anyone who had a Shopify store and was selling widgets a year and a half ago was using tons of ChatGPT stuff. So you're like, why are you telling me this? So those ads which were leveraging artificial intelligence were and still are used on social media, Facebook and Instagram, and are successful in driving traffic and getting sales and getting people to do what you want them to do. But they're not as successful as they first were when they first came out. And if you are on the platforms of Facebook and Instagram, you probably know what I'm talking about. And by now, and probably for months now, you've been able to recognize when advertising copyright is written by artificial intelligence. Which means people are smart, man. People are really smart. We have killer intuition, and that's the beauty of this whole video, is we are smarter than the artificial intelligence, and will always be. Because we have souls. That's probably a different video, but let me keep going. So, we're beginning to recognize this artificial intelligence in the copyright of the ads. And you know what I'm talking about. Every Facebook ad that has ChatGPT starts with a headline, then it's got a few emojis, then it tells a long story, then at the bottom it might show some social proof and some customer reviews, and then it tells more of a story. And it all has this hyped up text of all these descriptive verbs crammed in there as quick as possible to make you feel emotional and get you to do something. So yeah, it's like the emotional sales copy. And we are recognizing it now, and it's becoming less and less successful to the point of where eventually it'll just go away because it won't be successful in those environments. Now, let's jump back over to my life here as a playlist curator on SubmitHub. First, let's talk about, we both know that there are artificial intelligence apps that can create music for us from scratch, and anyone can do it, right? And that is the existential threat for the working musician, because we're like, they're going to replace us. They're just going to write my songs. They're going to steal my voice. There's going to be so much music made by normal people who have access to the apps that they're going to phase me out as an artist. Not true at all, and you have nothing to worry about. Back to SubmitHub. So in the last couple weeks on SubmitHub, as I mentioned before, I listen to a lot of music. I've been starting to notice a few songs coming in that are music made by AI. So AI music. And at first I was like, there's something about this track. First of all, it sounds amazing. The production is incredible. That's easy to duplicate. The genres are usually easy to duplicate, especially in the broader genres like country and pop and rap and the big genres, when you're recognizing this AI music. But the thing that tipped me off the most was the human behind the song. The human behind the song. In that, it was mostly in the vocals and the songwriting. And that's the most exciting part about this whole video, is that your creativity and your artistic voice as an artist can never be replaced. The message that you have for the world is deep inside of you, and no AI is ever going to replace that or duplicate it or be more unique than it. Like, that's the exciting thing. So let me talk more specifically about the vocals. When you hear this AI music and you listen to the vocals, you can tell that it's heavily processed. It sounds like it's almost like an auto tune, which it probably is because it's perfectly in tune, like the entire song. So that's one tip, that it's like so perfect it can't be real. And there are no mistakes in the performance of it at all. And some of the tiny, tiny mistakes that even squeak through on the very best of singers are what make us unique. The mistakes are what make us real. So no singer is perfect. Like, I don't care how great you are, because there's some flaw in your voice somewhere, and that makes you vulnerable and relatable to a listener. We want to hear the mistakes. Now, do we want to hear someone sing out of tune completely for an entire song? No, of course not. That would be painful. But I'm talking flawless mistakes. And when you get really good as an artist, you can make those mistakes on purpose. So let's go back to the AI. The other thing that's drastically different in AI music, specifically the vocals, are dynamics. And this is probably true for the entire track, because let's remember, none of this AI music was made by a guy on the drums, or a guy on the guitar, or a bass player, or a piano player, or a singer who is breathing with blood going through their system. So all the dynamics and emotions of the track start to fall away. You're like, man, this sounds amazing, but I feel nothing. And I just can't relate to the performance of this song. And again, on Submit Hub, I listen to thousands of songs. I hear terrible music. Like, I hear great music too, but I hear awful music. So I hear mistakes all day. And when I all of a sudden hear a perfectly produced song, giving the illusion that it's made by a human with no mistakes whatsoever, I'm starting to pick up on it. Just a couple days ago, I heard an AI song. I was like, boom, AI, you're out of here. To this morning, I had heard an AI song. Boom, you're out of here. And at first, they're hard to diagnose. Just like the advertising from ChatGPT on Facebook ads. That's why I'm telling that story. Because just like we as humans were able to weed out the qualities of artificial intelligence in the advertising world on social media and Facebook and Instagram, we are going to be able to weed out, and when I say we, I don't just mean the music business and the people in it that are musicians like you and me. I mean everybody. My mom, my niece, my neighbors, your neighbors, the people you work with, everyone in the world eventually is going to recognize the difference between AI music and real music that is made by a human. Will it have value in the world? Yes, probably. ChatGPT has value in the world. And what that value becomes, I guess, remains to be seen. So AI music will have value, but they're never going to replace the artists for the reasons I just described. So yeah, you're going to be hearing more of this stuff, and listen, you know, in some ways it's kind of fun because it's challenging to the listener to weed out this AI music. And when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, boom. No dynamics. The vocal is incredible. The production is incredible. There's no emotion. And usually the lyrics are kind of like boring. They're telling the same old story. Like, if you're a real artist, you have a way of crafting a lyric and a chord progression and a song and production that comes from only you. Only you can do it. Like, no AI is ever going to replace a real artist. So just like ChatGPT and NFTs or things that are hot and threatening for, I don't know, 6 months to a year, they fall out of fashion and find their own niche in the world. So I'm not saying that AI music isn't valuable. It's just no threat to you as an original artist and musician. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep getting better at your thing. Keep putting out content. There's nothing to worry about. So I just wanted to put your mind at ease. AI music, it's no big deal. I'll see you later. Bye.